Hi, besties. So, we're back with another episode, but today we're going to be doing it a little bit different. We are having Weird Death Wednesdays. I know. Well, just because it's almost spooky season, I want to get into it with a nice little spooky, weird, kind of deathy episode. I hope you like it. Okay, besties, so Filthy Fairy has a kind of gross one for us tonight. So she said that there's a lady who had died from old age, but she had gotten to a point where she couldn't eat or drink anything, that her eyes sank into her body and her tongue burst like it was a sausage in a pan. And she said that it was so gross that she would opt for euthanization for people like grown adults or humans that have to go through that, because it is not like the movies how you see most old people dying peacefully with a smile, or getting to close their eyes and just gently rest. It's not all like that, and it's not all fun and games, and I don't blame her, because imagine that you were watching someone pass away and this is your job, and their eyes sink in. It would look like a horror movie. It would look, I would not, me personally, I don't think I could do anything like that, because that's creepy. To me, that sounds scary. And if I can see it in my head, eyes sunken in, tongue big and burst out of your mouth, like, no. You keep that. That's a Saw movie. Okay, and now I'm going to read from Hannah Lucia from 2 years ago, who worked in palliative care. I worked in palliative care, so I've seen more deaths than I can recall. Most were normal, but there was a few that always stuck with me, so here are mine. One woman had a seizure, and it was her first ever seizure that we weren't expecting. So we had to ring 999. So this is not in America, obviously, because they ring 999 and we ring 911. Paramedics took 90 minutes to get to her, and as she continued waiting, she continued having a seizure every 1 to 2 minutes. By minute 25, she had her last seizure and she passed away. It was very horrifying to watch. Yes, Miss Hannah, that sounds scary. Because what do you mean she had a seizure for 25 minutes? You guys said that this was the first seizure that you guys weren't expecting, and she had 25 back to back to back to back to back. So that is really sad, and I'm really sorry that that happened to her. I mean, that sounds excruciating and terrifying, because you're trying, like, you're thinking probably maybe like, oh, this is gonna stop, but then as you keep having seizures, who knows what's going through your brain. So that's really, really sad. Another woman was transferred to our care from the hospital. Hospitals sometimes give extremely vague handovers. This time, they failed to mention that she was asthmatic and failed to send her inhaler. She had an asthma attack after being with us for 1 hour. I ran and grabbed someone else's inhaler, illegal, I know, but I was trying to save her, and it wouldn't work for her, and she passed away. That's messed up. And see, a lot of these hospitals need to be doing better, because y'all out here taking people's organs without their permission, and they're not on the donor list. Y'all are out here being very vague on your reports. A lot of y'all are being willy-nilly. Some of these surgeries are not going as well as they should have been going. I just feel like a lot of things lately in life has been cut and cheated. I just really would hope that healthcare wasn't one of those things, because it's really important to take care of people. You don't know, like, this could be your grandma, this could be your mom, this could be your sister, this could be you. So it's really important to take care of the people that you're supposed to take care of. I don't really think that's cool, man. Do better. A third lady left us to go to the hospital for 5 days. She came back with a grade 5/ungradable pressure sore on her coccyx area. Most people don't/shouldn't see a grade 5 during their work. This poor woman ended up with a neurotic giant hole in the area, large enough to fit a fist, and large enough to see the bones on the other side. What did y'all do to that lady? Not Hannah and her team, but the hospital. What did y'all do to that lady? Why did she come back with a fist-sized hole in her coccyx? That's unbelievable. And why wasn't... No, the police, somebody should have got involved, because that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I don't know. I hope it was like medically, I don't know, but that's not it. Despite everyone's best effort, she literally only lived for 3 more days. That is really, really messed up. And I really hope that nothing or no one did anything to her. But at the same time, that is not okay, guys. That was a huge hole. Alright, besties, we're reaching the last story. Let me know what you think about these in the comments, and I'll definitely give my feedback at the end of this episode. Alright, let's get into it. Okay, and Hannah says this is one of the worst she's ever seen. A fourth lady was on her deathbed. She was basically at the end of life care. And her next of kin, who had control and say so over what was going on, said that they didn't want any medical intervention. Basically, no medicine, no stopping it, no anything. She don't want nothing, nobody do nothing, just let nature run its course, basically. One day, we noticed her belly was slightly bloated, and the bloating continued and continued until she looked like she was pregnant with triplets. We got a doctor out there on the basis that she might have been in pain. The doctor said she needed to go to the hospital for further tests and scans. So the next again refused because she said no medical intervention. That was literally clear at the beginning. Eventually, she passed away. Cause of death was unconfirmed, but when she did pass away, her stomach went flat and an unbelievable amount of liquid and feces came out. Yeah. I could believe that. She said, I'm talking about covered the whole bed, running off the bed onto the floor, up in her hair, and everywhere you can think of. It took them roughly like 2 hours to clean her before the undertaker could come and take her body away. Yeah, check please, because what do you mean? What do you mean it took roughly 2 hours to clean her? And then also, like, as the person who didn't want any medical intervention, I could understand that, but like, what if they could have drained her stomach or something, and like that could have caused like her to die more peacefully? Maybe, I don't know. I just feel like that's a little creepy, and I think it's a little bit gross, and I don't like it. I mean, I like it. I think that all of these stories were pretty descriptive. I wouldn't say good, because like I don't think death is like a good thing. I do think that it can be peaceful if the person especially was going through a lot physically, as far as pain or mental damage and stuff like that. But as we've seen, 2 of them suffered because one had a coccyx that had fist size, another one had a really bad asthma attack, and that's suffering. Like, you know, people literally can go through a lot. The first story, even in this segment of Hannah, she had a seizure. Like, what in the actual living life? Like that, for 25 minutes, a seizure for 25 minutes. Oh yeah, that's not even, no, that stuff is terrible. So thanks for Weird Death Wednesdays. I do think that it's a little odd, because like this is stuff that you probably would see on 1,000 Ways to Die, or if you know that show, you know, or something like on YouTube where they're like giving you like, you know, oh, these are weird ways people die, and they kind of spruce it up for you. No, this is more raw and uncut, and these are people that actually have lived through this. So like, imagine how those people feel, you know, in this situation. Imagine how like they're thinking. And I think those people are really strong for having the ability to sit with people as they go through their last parts of life. So thanks for reading these Reddit stories with me, besties. Let me know how you feel about these deaths in the comments, and I will see you next time on another episode of Midnight Modules. Bye.